Hi, my name is Jennifer. I'm a group exercise instructor and physical therapist, and today we're going to do a mat Pilates class. It is going to be a little bit shorter. I am going to move a little bit quicker through some of the exercises. If you have never done Pilates before, I would recommend that maybe you listen to an instruction, maybe pause it, get yourself set in that exercise, try a few reps, and then hit play again, or try one of my longer videos where I spend a little bit more time instructing with each exercise. I will show multiple levels, but again, I'm going to try to maybe move a little bit quicker from exercise to exercise. Let's get warmed up on our backs. And if you want any music on, go ahead and play whatever music you like. I would normally play music in my classes, but for saving my voice here and not having to yell over music, I'm not going to play any today. Okay, so come on down. Now, I want you to get that spine neutral. Contract your pelvic floor so those muscles will close and lift up into that pelvis. So those muscles control that bowel and bladder. So think about if you had to go to the bathroom and you were trying to hold it in, think about that squeeze and lift up and in with that group of muscles. That will help pull in that transverse abdominal muscle. So think about flattening that stomach towards your spine. It is not a big pelvic tilt though, so make sure you're not getting that flattened by squeezing your butt and not zipping in that lower tummy like pulling up a tight pair of pants. So pelvic floor close and lift, transverse abdominal muscle flat to your spine. Press those hands and shoulders back into the mat. I want you to hold that and breathe. So you need to start to learn to compress through that core and be able to breathe at the same time. Think about making that air kind of go right up through the side of that rib cage so you get that lateral expansion with your breath on your inhale, and your exhale, everything compresses back down and in. Your belly may rise and fall a little bit with that breath, but again, you're trying not to lose that contraction completely with every breath. Maintain some of that core stability as we go, okay? So holding that in, getting that lateral breath. Keep that contracted nice and tight, and I want you to come up and do an ab curl. So start with your head, start to pick up your shoulder blades in your arms, and take a look at your stomach. It should not have gotten bigger. If anything in any core class that you do causes those abdominals to bloat outwards and poof, that is wrong. You have to be able to keep that compressed and then work that rectus and those obliques and do all of those other big movements. And if you can't, then you've got to modify that so that you get good form. So reaching through those fingertips, take a look at that belly, make sure it's down and in, and just start with an inhale and an exhale, getting some movement with that core contraction. And you do not have to go at my pace. I encourage you to just listen to your own breath speed and go at a pace that feels good for you. Do one more and then pause those arms. Alternate leg extension. I want you to kick one leg out away from you, firing that quad. Pilates is also about creating that length in those limbs. So anytime something's really reaching out away from you, whether it's a leg or an arm, think about that length. Even while you're here, spine length out from the top of your head through your tailbone. One more on each leg. And then pause, side bending, reaching towards one foot, back center, reach to the other foot, back center. And again, breathe. One more to each side. Hold your curl, bring your hands back behind your head, support your head, just create a little hammock with your fingers. Hold your curl and rotate and come back center. And rotate and come back center, warming up those obliques. And again, make sure you exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale. Hold it center and come all the way down. Release those arms. All right, we're gonna go right into the 100 to start with. You've got 4 different leg levels that I need you to be able to choose from. Everybody's upper body is identical. So bringing yourself back into that curl. Once you have that core set, reach through your fingers nice and strong. Everybody's upper body is going to inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a staccato breath. Your level 1, your feet stay down. Level 2, they come up to your knee level. 3, I really want you to start to kick those quads in and fight that hamstring. And level 4, lower those legs towards the floor where you feel challenged. If you go so low your belly pops, too far. Bring your legs back in or lower down a level, okay? Here we go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finish a breath. Bring it in and release it down. Now, we're going to take the hands, press them into the floor, push those shoulders back, get that core set. And I want you to bring those feet up and see if you can kick them all the way straight. Flex your feet and then toe out a little bit. Okay, so externally rotate through those hips. And then I want you to bend your knees ever so slightly so that you're creating this diamond shape in between those legs. This is a double leg lower. Do not put your hands underneath your butt and cheat with this, okay? I really want you to rely on that core, which means your legs may not go down very far, and that's okay. All right, get that core set, strong through those arms. Keep those knees locked where they're at in that bent position and maintain that diamond formation. You're gonna lower down at the hip where you can go to and pull back up and in. Pressing strong through those heels. And again, everybody's gonna be at a different pace. You may go lower than me. You may not be going as low as me. So the time it takes you to do each repetition is gonna be different for every person. Do one more. Bring it in and lower those legs down. Nice job. Roll yourself up into sitting. We're going to start with a few half rollbacks and then add a twist. So feet flat, squeeze those knees together, reach through those arms, create again that length in your spine. Compress with that pelvic floor and that transverse abdominal. Roll back into it, hollowing that belly towards your spine. And come back up. So just do a few singles of rolling back and bringing it up. If it's uncomfortable for you to squeeze your knees together, you can keep them about hip distance apart. Now, adding some rotation into it. The next time that you roll back, I want you to go palm up, look at your hand, come all the way back around behind you as far as you can, and as you roll back, come up to sitting. Other side. If you want to add an extra level of difficulty, as you rotate, whatever side you're going to, you're going to extend that same leg. So as I'm going to come around, I'm going to kick out. If I'm looking right, tighten that quad. Block your knee and create that length. Up, back and open. One more. Make sure you're equal. Bring it up. Pull that chest up nice and tall. Just give that back a little arch. And roll right back down onto your back. All right, we're gonna go into double leg stretch. Everybody's, again, upper body's identical, and you have some different options for your legs. So take a breath, scoop that pelvic floor, get that transverse abdominal set. Come into your curl. Your arms are going to scoop by the sides of your head, reaching strong, and pull around with those lats. So you're doing a reach and a scoop, and a reach and a scoop. Now, feet can stay down level 1. Level 2, they can come up and not move, or you can start to add movement but kick straight up, so you at least start to get some of those quads moving at the same time. Level 4, kind of like the 100. As you kick out lower, it's gonna be more difficult, okay? So get that core set, create that length in that neck, and strong reach and pull. Reach, pull. Lengthen, contract. Lengthen, contract. Inhale, exhale. Make it a very strong, powerful movement, but fluid. That belly should not be popping up. Keep it compressed. Finish one. Lower down and release. Okay. We're going to do roll over today, which is kind of an opposite movement of roll up. If you're more familiar with roll up, you can do that. Or again, if it's more comfortable for your body. If you don't know what roll up is and the rollover is not for you either, just do something else that we've already done, or maybe go into a plank position while we do this, or just take a break. This is a little bit challenging on the hamstrings sometimes for people, so I'm going to show you the whole thing and then how to modify. Hands into the floor, shoulders back. Take a breath, scoop that core. Those legs are going to start straight up overhead, and with a very nice strong pull from the belly, you are going to lift your butt, shooting your legs overhead. Your weight should not go into your neck. You have to keep it at that shoulder level, okay? So make sure you're not causing any neck pain. So exhale as I pull. If I have the hamstring length, I can touch the floor. Go shoulder width apart. Flex your feet and then roll down, trying to keep your legs as close to your body as you possibly can. Slowly peeling that spine one vertebrae at a time back to the mat and back to start, okay? Now, you don't have to touch the floor. I can come here, shoulder width, flex, and roll down. I can also maybe work on just trying to get my butt up a little bit. I can also bend my knees and work on a tuck from there, okay? Or again, anything else that you choose. Here we go. Get that core set. Strong pull. Inhale and exhale. Going at your own pace. Finish one. And release it down. Now, from here, I want you to come up to your forearms. And that was kind of a nice hamstring lengthener for can-can. We're gonna start on our forearms, and then I'll give you the option to come up one extra level to flat hands. All right, so from here, get that belly compressed, get your pelvic floor in, keep the heart lifted. All right, this is not to be saggy. Your ears and your shoulders should not be near each other, okay? So create, again, that length and that open heart and chest. Belly tight, pelvic floor in. You're gonna rotate 3, 2, 1, then you get a double leg extension and bring it in. 3, 2, 1, double leg extension. I can modify this to do a single leg. I can also just work on a twist and a hold, okay, to bring it down one more level than that. But if you can extend your legs, and that feels pretty comfortable, and it's not that much of a challenge for those hamstrings or that core, then you can come up to your hands. Your hands are gonna be behind you. You are still gonna be on this diagonal with your body, long neck. Do not bend your elbows to allow that leg to come up, okay? So we're still doing twist, 2, 3, double leg extend. Twist, 2, 3, double leg extend. Or you can do your single. Do not, though, as you go to kick your leg, bend your elbows and rock yourself back to make that motion happen. It's cheating, and it's not good form. 1, 2, 3, strong exhale. 1, 2, 3. Twist, 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 twist. One more. And release. Now, if you were on your forearms, you can stay there. In fact, I'll come down to show this one. We're gonna do a double leg lift, okay? I'm gonna eventually get into sitting, but you can start here, all right? Now, belly's nice and tight, pelvic floor is in. You can start with your double leg lift from here. You can bend your knees to modify and tuck in, or maybe I start with a single leg. Okay, it's all about the stability. So I really want you to cement that pelvis, cement that spine. Okay, and again, no sagging. Keep that heart up. If those feel easy, come up to those hands. And again, nice long line, belly back, pelvic floor in. Do not bend your elbows to make this happen. All right, so keep those locked. Exhale. Exhale. Couple more. Knees are straight, quads are fired tight. 2, 1, and release. All right, let's go over to our stomachs. Bring it around. We're going to start with heel squeeze prone. Come onto your stomach, flat. Forehead will go onto your hands. Legs are going to go about hip distance apart, maybe just a smidge wider, okay, so no wider than shoulder width. You're going to bend your knees to 90 degrees, flex your feet, go heel in and toe out, kind of like we did in that diamond, yeah? All right, now your heels are going to press towards the ceiling. You have to keep your abs contracted. This is not a low back exercise. You really want to isolate that glute max and that hip extension. So make sure that you really kick in that core, okay? So heels together, pelvic floor in, belly tight, exhale, press. Try to lift your knees and then lower halfway down. Press, lower halfway down. So you got to exhale up, inhale halfway down. Now, if you need to lower all the way back down, you can in between each rep. This is not a big movement. We don't have a ton of hip extension. So don't try to make this bigger than what it is, okay? It's a very small, very isolated exercise, all right? So heels pressed, exhale, exhale, long neck and spine. Now pulse it at the top. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Four, three, two, one. Hold, squeeze, and release down, and release those legs. I want you to toe out a little bit, keep them out, keep them nice and strong, squeeze through those quads, and we're gonna do breaststroke, bringing those hands by the sides of your body, squeeze those shoulder blades back, get that core compressed, and I want you to reach forward nice and strong, pull around and lift that chest, okay? So reach, scoop and pull, reach, scoop and pull. Now hold the arms at the side, hold yourself lifted, go palm down, thumb out, pinkies are facing your body. See if you can lift both legs up and hold. Keep breathing, keep that core set. Just a little bit of isometric endurance here. And release down. Take those hands, press them into the floor, come back into a tabletop position. We're gonna start with just a little bit of balance with some bird dog. So get those hands underneath those shoulders, knees underneath those hips. Belly nice and tight up to your spine, pelvic floor in. Extend the right leg back behind you and lift it up. If that feels stable, left arm out. Now we're going to work on a diagonal today, so if you can, I want you to take that arm and leg and 45-degree it out and hold. Bring it center, bring it in. Your back and hip should not really have moved at all. Okay, that's how stable you are. Reset yourself, kick the other leg back, lift it up. That feels stable, arm out. And again, create that length. You're lengthening your limbs. You can go corner for your hold. Bring it back in, bring that arm and leg in, and get off your wrist for just a second. We're gonna move a little bit bigger. We're gonna come from a push-up position into a down dog rotation reach for another rotation exercise. And we're gonna see if we can throw in 2 push-ups in between each reach. So lots of options for modifications here, okay? So we're gonna start off in our push-up plank here. You're gonna do 2 push-ups. From here, I want you to rotate and try to reach back, come into a down dog, go for the outside of that foot, Bring it back down to your plank, nice and strong. 2 push-ups. Reach other side. Come back, 2 push-ups. Now, modification. I can come to my knees. I can do my 2 push-ups. And I can then come into my down dog reach. And then come back to my knees for my push-ups. I can also not do my down dog. I can do my push-ups, come to tabletop as I reach and rotate to the outside knee. Do my 2 push-ups. Come back into my tabletop and rotate and reach, okay? So modify it however you need to. If you don't want to do the push-ups, that's fine too, all right? Here we go. Make sure you breathe in. One more to each side. And release it all the way down. And come to your side. We're going to do some hip and butt. Whichever side you want to do first is fine. All right, we are going to do some basic leg lifts, but we're going to do 3 different directions, okay? We're going to go from a 90 degree to a 45 to a 0 degree in line neutral with your body. If 90 degrees forward is not available because of hamstring length, go 70 or 80, it's fine. Listen to your body. So hips are stacked. Shoulders are stacked. Try to create a little space underneath that waistline, okay? So add that little bit of extra layer of difficulty if you can. Get that transverse back, pelvic floor in. I'm gonna bring my bottom leg up to about 90 degrees like I'm sitting in a chair. And I'm gonna extend my top leg. So here's where that hamstring length may or may not be a problem. If you get this leg up here and your back flexes, that's a no-no, okay? You have to keep it in neutral, like you're up against a wall. Top leg lifts. 1, 2, push strong through your heel. Quad is tight. 5, 6, 19 and 20. Now take that leg to 45 degrees. Lift 1, 2, leg is still parallel with the floor. 3, 4, 5, 6, belly tight. 7, 8, make sure you're breathing. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. 0 degree it in line with your body and lift. 1, 2, 3, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, almost there. 18, 19, and 20. Hold. Keep holding, set that core, and flip to the other side. Bring it around. And before we do that other leg, we're gonna just pop ourselves around into a plank. Forearms or hands, and hold, okay? You can also go to your knees if you need to. Come on down. Let's get into that 90 degree at that hip. Hips stacked, shoulders stacked, bottom leg up. Kick that top leg forward. And once you've got that pelvic floor and that transverse set, and try to get some air under the waist, here we go. 1, 2, 17, 18, 19, 20, 45 degree it. 1, 2, 3, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 0 degrees, neutral. 1, core tight. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Hold it. Strong through that leg, strong through the core. Breathe. And release that in. Nice job. All right, we're gonna stretch for just a couple minutes. If there's anything else that you wanna do, pause it, go ahead, or stretch on your own with your favorite stretches. Come around onto your stomach, lengthen that belly, come up onto your elbows. If you need a little more stretch, push in through the floor and give me that full extension through that elbow. And come on down, reach back for that foot, stretch that quad out. We did a few exercises where you really had to fire that quad today. And switch. We are not stretching for flexibility holds, so just getting a little stretch. That's why I do encourage you to really take that time and do some extra stretching on your own. And go ahead and release that. Press yourself back to knees. Come into sitting. We're going to stretch that hip out. I want you to try to take yourself into kind of a stacked thigh. So top leg is going to come around, and I give myself a little push just to kind of get my knees right stacked on top of each other. Okay, sit up nice and tall. Now this may be enough of a challenge for you. You might already feel that in your hips, and you're going to stay there. Otherwise, if you can, you're going to try to start leaning forward into that stretch over those hips. If that's really still intense being here, just cross one foot over and see if you can kind of do a knee to an opposite shoulder stretch. If that bothers the bottom leg, you can extend it out and come to here, okay? up, go ahead and switch. Get that other leg tucked in and the other leg crossed on top. See if you can get those knees stacked. I'm a little tighter on this side, so it's a little harder for me to be totally stacked. Keep those sit bones on the ground. Bring it in. Go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Unwind that. Nice and tall length. I want you to put one arm behind you. Press yourself up. Reach around to that opposite knee and give yourself a good twist. Try to look back behind you. Deep breath. I'm going to switch my legs. Other hand behind, reach across, see if you can give yourself a little push around. And again, think about this back arm as helping lift you up so you get that length as well as that rotation. And release that. Go ahead and reach over to one side. Keeping your sit bones into the floor. See if you can drop that shoulder backwards and look up underneath that arm to the ceiling. Other side. Take it center, take a deep breath in. Exhale. And you guys are done. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day, and please stretch maybe a little bit more on your own. Any other areas of the body that you still feel need some attention today.